I'm Rob Howard, and I'm here to talk to you today about EFLtalks. First, to give you a little bit of history, 5 years ago, I had an idea of coming up with a shorter, more compact, faster format of giving English teachers continuing professional development online. Now, way before COVID, way before everybody was online doing a webinar, I was looking at some of the few webinars that were out there and thought about how the 60-minute, the 90-minute was just too long, and not everybody had the availability to go. At the same time, most people back in those days were relying on going to face-to-face conferences, which could be expensive, number one, for the conference fee, but also for the travel involved, hotel, airfare, if necessary. And I thought about, how blessed as a teacher I was being able to go to these conferences, but how many teachers out there didn't have the same availability, whether it be because of where they lived, because of economic situations, or just to get the time off to be able to go to these conferences. So I thought about how I could make something convenient. And back then, TED Talks was just becoming very popular. And I thought about TED Talks, and I thought about something that we did often at Pechakucha, which is a fast delivery with fast slides, given under 6 minutes. And I thought about putting the whole thing together, and I came up with the idea of 10 and 10, which was a 10-minute presentation done with only 10 PowerPoint slides. And what I did back on World Teachers Day back in 2015, I put together the first EFL talk where I went out and got 50 professionals from around the world to buy into the concept and for free give this non-stop marathon webinar that we held. Now, the idea caught on. I was actually a little disappointed because I thought the numbers, I believe it was about 400 people watched the live. But what I quickly realized within the next week is that almost 10,000 people watched that on the recordings. So we decided to change the focus on going from live to getting the recording to make this easier for teachers all over the world to see. Now, since then, we've branched out. We've now done 35 different EFL talks, anywhere from raising money for the disaster relief in Puerto Rico. We've been to Russia, we've been to South America, we're all over the place. And we've also done things for International Women's Day. We've done 2 comedy shows for COVID. And then we've specialized talking about teachers' associations from around the world, such as Equitisel, Braz-Tisel. We just did one for K-Salt, Tisel. And the whole idea of this is what people like is that they're short and they're accessible. The whole idea is when we do a live show, we are recording everything. So a lot of people do take part in the live. But what we find now is on any given one, within weeks, we have a couple thousand views on our YouTube channel. And I never thought that I would do this for 5 years and that it would keep going initially. And in retrospect, and talking to people about why it has been so successful, it's because it was a good idea. And it was something that was good at the time. And surprisingly to me, that even in the time when everybody is doing a webinar now because of COVID, we're actually growing our audience even more. And this tells me that the whole idea of the hook of making accessible teacher development available was a good idea. So my recommendations for keeping something sustainable is to come up with a concept of what people actually need and what they want. Make adjustments as you need to. Don't think that just because this is what you think will work. For example, the idea of sticking with the recordings. I always thought this was going to be something live, and it turns out the most successful part is the recordings. So put the work into it, show your passion, it'll develop, and as of now, we've had over 400 different speakers with over 600 recordings of teacher development, all available for free to teachers throughout the world. And we hope to keep this going, and we just celebrated our 5th anniversary, which we had another 50 speakers for a marathon on International Teachers Day, and I can't wait for another 5 years. So hope this helps. And if you're an English teacher, if you're in education, if you teach languages, become part of our community, and we hope to have you with us. So you can check everything out on EFLtalks.com, and this will lead you to all the information about the concept, show you our events, show you the speakers, and lead you to the recordings. So, thank you.